I'm giving away these 3 cameras because I have plenty of cameras to create YouTube videos, but I wanted to buy these cameras to see if they were budget-friendly cameras that could help you create great videos. Each of these cameras are under $200. One of these cameras is under $60. I'm going to share with you some of the features of each of these cameras and some footage so you can see what it actually looks like and if these budget cameras are an option for you. Now we have 3 completely different styles of cameras, and whenever I talk about cameras and equipment in general, I like to put context around it because you want to make sure that you're purchasing the right gear for your use case. Let's first start off with the camera in the middle. This camera is the Mocus 4K camera. This is a very good budget option camera if you're looking for a secondary type of camera. One of the main features that most every camera has is some type of screen. Well, this camera doesn't have a screen, but it can still serve a very good purpose. Let's say you already have a main camera that you're recording your content with and you need a secondary camera. Well, this could be an option for you. One of the things that I like to do is show behind the scenes footage. I don't really need to look at the camera to make sure it's always positioned right, and that is what this camera could be used for. You could also think about using this type of camera as an overhead camera. So if you're constantly doing top-down shots on your desk to show something, this camera could serve that purpose as well because you're not moving your top-down camera that often. One of the great features about this camera is that it has a small form factor. That means you can easily put this on a tripod, you could mount it high on a bookshelf and really let it be your behind the scenes camera and it be very discreet. It doesn't have any lights on the front of it, not even the record light. So once you actually start to use this for video, you don't actually have a record button for that footage. So you wouldn't want to use this as your primary camera. Now on the back of this camera, it does have the option for menu control and you can navigate through the different camera settings to change the different features and elements of the shutter, the ISO, the color spectrums. But if you have no screen, how do you see what settings are that you're trying to change? Well, this camera can easily connect to OBS or any other live streaming platform. And once you connect it into your video platform, then you'll be able to see the different settings as you navigate through the menus. This camera has the ability to connect to your computer through USB connection and an HDMI connection. You have options with this camera. And once you bring it into your live streaming software, you can then use it to live stream in your live streaming software or just hit the record button to record your content. Now on the top of this camera, you do have a microphone port, but one thing it lacks is the ability to connect an external microphone. That is a major drawback if you are trying to use this as your primary camera. You really do need good audio for content creation, so use case would best be for a secondary type of usage with this one. Now this camera does have the ability to zoom in and zoom out slightly along with a focus adjuster as well to make sure that your picture is looking pretty clean. This next camera that I'm giving away is a camcorder, and I know camcorders aren't as popular as they once were. Now everyone is using mirrorless cameras, myself included, to record this video. I'm using 2 mirrorless cameras, but if you need a camera to create content and you're looking to get something on a budget, don't overlook a camcorder. You can put an SD card, hit record, and get 1080p quality videos. A lot of the content that you're watching is in 1080p or even in 720p, depending on that platform and them downsampling that resolution. So don't feel the need that you have to have 4K video because a lot of us still aren't able to watch it on every single device and every single platform. Cameras like this can be mounted on a tripod, which makes it easy to do talking head videos just like this one. And because this has a flip out screen, you can actually monitor yourself to make sure that you're still in the frame and make any adjustments on the fly. This makes it a good budget option for your main camera. Not something I would focus on and recommend with a camcorder, but this does give you the options to take photos if you want. So similar to the previous camera, this one also does not have an external microphone input. You're going to be limited to the onboard microphone of the camera, which doesn't sound the best. I would recommend setting this camera up on a tripod, recording internally to the SD card, and then connecting your microphone directly to your computer or an audio source. Now in this case, one of the audio sources that I'm using is the Rodecaster Pro. So this allows me to capture clean audio independently from capturing the video. Now, this is the camera that you're probably most interested in because it looks and feels very similar to a point and shoot mirrorless style camera. Those are all the rage right now. This camera can even record 4K video. I'm going to link to this camera along with the rest of the cameras in the description of this video. This camera not only allows for video, but you can also take some nice photography and still photos with it as well. This camera does come with 2 batteries, so if you need a few more minutes of recording time, you can definitely swap out batteries, and you can put in an external SD card to record directly to the card itself. This camera actually does come with the ability to connect an external microphone, so now you can have good audio and good video without having to set up anything else. With having a thread adapter on the bottom of this camera makes it perfect to mount on a tripod. So if you're looking to do those talking head videos or having this on a stationary device that's stable and won't be moving all over the place, this camera can fit that bill. And another feature of this camera is the USB port. So if you want to connect this to a computer for live streaming, that's an option as well. But be hesitant on actually using this camera in that way because you will be limited to the battery life of the battery. For that type of live streaming, you definitely want to have the ability to use a dummy battery that keeps the camera powered on much longer. So if you're just going to be doing recording, this is your budget-friendly option. If you're going to be live streaming, not as much. So I've recorded some footage of each of these cameras. That way you can see for yourself the quality and if the quality is good enough to produce the types of videos that you want to produce. This is the recording within OBS, and this is the video quality coming from the camera. Now we're recording on the camcorder, and this camcorder can be easily put on any tripod. You can even handhold this. So this is the 4K camera, and if you're looking for a budget option, I think this might be something to consider. So who are getting these cameras? Well, right now I'm actually doing a live training course with 12 individuals about how they can grow their YouTube channels. And some of them need cameras. I'm going to send these budget-friendly cameras to them to help them get started creating their content on YouTube. Now, if you want to be in the know of upcoming trainings, make sure you check out the first pinned link in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.